Welcome to Ikenai Kanojo no Otetsudai, Chapter 12. Tommy boy, the pipes are calling. How are you doing today, Tom?
I'm doing all right. But I noticed that once again, you failed to pronounce it correctly. You got so close.
Ikenai Kanojo no Otetsudai.
Oh, so close. It's actually pronounced harumph. Let me clear my throat. Helpful girlfriends not die, obviously.
That's a throwback to because
Oh,
for some
I messed
reason
up. I messed up.
English
It's helping,
translation.
not helpful. My eyes are bad. I'm old. Forgive me.
That's the actual English translation on Manga Dex, although I don't know if that's incredibly accurate. What do you think?
It's 100% accurate. I wrote it myself. I'm lying on all fronts.
What would be the actual English transliteration of it?
All right, so like Ikenai, I think in this context has the implication of like cannot die or cannot pass on, kind of. Kanojo is often as a noun translated as like girlfriend or a second person pronoun like she, and which I think in this case it's leaning towards like her, she kind of thing. Like they're not. There's no explicit girlfriend in this manga.
Well, they're all the girlfriend. It's a harem tag, isn't it?
Who added that? Did someone add that?
It's better than adding the food tag and cooking.
Yeah. Throwback.
All right, so we're starting off here today with the wonderful splash page that has been reused for the past couple chapters, and we'll head on.
Right off the bat, it's kind of interesting to note that apparently when she's in Yohei's body, she's not restricted to her like zone of limits or whatever it is. Like she can go further than the boundaries of the school and the park, etc.
And apparently Yosuke can too, because he's not bound for whatever
Right.
reason. Like they didn't
Well,
swap abilities.
he's a different kind of ghost. She is locationally bound, and he is not, like, inherently. Which, it is kind of weird that she's locationally bound to the school when that's, like, never where she spent any of her time. I guess that's because, like, that's where her lingering regrets lie, maybe. They're centered around school life.
Do we know how she died or where she
I
died?
think I assume died in the hospital. I don't remember if they ever spell it out explicitly.
And then here we see Yosuke's dad, Ga, because the Japanese yell funny.
Man, screams are so hard to do. Like, I kind of just phone it in every time.
Yeah, there's really not much to do there. Like you can go you can go whatever. But
No.
yeah, we can see he's very upset through all the veins on his forehead.
Yes.
And it almost looks like he scares Rinko right out of the body.
Yeah, and that's a detail I'm ashamed to have not caught until like I was proofreading. Because even Yosuke, you've got me saying Yosuke now. Yohei even says so close, like on the next page where she like snaps out and then snaps right back in. And it's like I somehow missed that he was talking about her like almost escaping the body. I thought he was like, oh, she didn't get hit or something by the dad,
Mm-hmm.
but then she did. I completely missed all the context.
It's important to remember that Yosuke's whole family is like spirit detective exorcists type thing.
Like adjacent at best. Like his parents don't believe and they can't see ghosts.
Yeah, but isn't that why he was able to grow up and see ghosts? Because he was such spiritually inclined through his genetics?
Probably. I think they even use the word Raycon in there, which is something like spiritual sensing or something. Like you'll often see it as like, yeah, I guess something like spiritual awareness or something, something to that effect, basically.
So we see here on this page is getting dragged home. This page we see like what looks like Rambo.
Yeah, I think this was meant to be a pun. So you can even see them because on the bottom of the Rambo panel, do do do, those sound effects there. I edited out the top ones because they were easy enough to clean. But it's kind of like gunfire, machine gun fire. But also, I think it's meant to contrast with the father who is yelling or ranting, I guess. And the sound effects for that is like ku do 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 do. So they're very similar in sound, basically. That's why I added a weird in and like brat tat 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 to kind of make it sound like rant, like brant tat tat tat. I don't know. It was a stretch. Nobody will notice it one way or another. I just felt like calling it out because this is my platform for that kind of useless trivia.
Well, I just think it should be pointed out that Yosuke's mom is kind of hot.
Well, I like all Japanese moms. She's pretty young too, and they don't
Yeah.
age as well. Or sorry, they don't age as quickly until they really do. So you got that double feature.
They look like they're 20 until they're like 50, and then at like 60 they turn into like little golems.
Yeah, like the grandma here. And speaking of
Exactly.
Yohei's family, who is Kamiyu? The dad just drops that name randomly, and like he says brothers, and it's like who? There's no brother present. Is he in college? Maybe I don't know. Is there even a brother? Am I just completely misreading? This is one of the two bubbles that delayed this thing like a week because I was just like, I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to try to figure out what the heck he was saying or how I should handle it.
I don't know. It could be a reference to like a TV character or an older brother that we've never heard of at now. Maybe this is his introduction, like seeding it for a later chapter. Who knows?
So spoilers, I don't remember there ever being an older brother character in any of the future
Mm,
chapters. And why would there be? This is a harem manga, as
yeah.
evidenced by the tags.
I like this kind of JoJo pose that Rinko is doing, like inside of his body. But she looks very cute there. I like her. She's
In
cool.
the bottom
I
right
will
there.
take a Ghost Girl GF. Yeah.
Yeah, I somehow didn't even make the JoJo connection, but you're right. It does feel like a JoJo like panel. It's actually really cool. I like it a lot now that you mentioned that. And it's good that Yohei has the foresight to like tell her how to act. I mean, obviously anybody would, but maybe I just appreciate that they're showing it in the panels.
And here they're talking about our poor local
Punching bag.
victim. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Umchiki-kun, you know, that Matsuno boy, he really loves to play. I'm like,
That was that was the second panel. Because who's Matsuno? I don't know. Is that his last name? I don't know. They
yeah, I'm
don't
assuming.
say. I do
I
too.
think that's implied. Yeah, because he said Umchiki, so they're like, oh yeah, Umchiki Matsuno, you know.
I don't know. I feel like I took a couple liberties in the phrasing of that actual sentence. Clearly, I'm not a talented translator because I just really botched these two panels and they gave me a lot of trouble.
No, that's
But
fine.
nobody needs to know because
I didn't bring it up to.
No, I know. Because you wouldn't know because I played it off as though I knew what I was talking about. But secretly, I'm not confident that I knew what I was doing.
I guess Yosuke doesn't normally use the kun suffix. He uses.
I feel like it might be girly. I don't think it necessarily is, but like you definitely see girls using it all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if boys often do. I'm trying to think.
Well, there will definitely be some overlaps of like girlish mannerisms, like as we saw from the last chapter with.
Yeah, and that's what they're getting at for sure with this, because he even if he does use kun in other circumstances, Yohei doesn't use it for umakichi, but Rinko does because like that's what she calls him.
And of course, we have the lovely spiral eyeballs, which are always the best. That and the heart ones are the two best.
Nothing can ever beat hearts. Stars are okay.
When I get a waifu, I'm gonna give her heart-shaped contacts for our anniversary.
That would be
That's what I'm gonna
based.
do.
You need to find her at an anime club though.
That wouldn't that be? Yeah.
No normal girl would do that.
No, I'll just be like, no, it's just cute. Like, here, wear these.
I don't think it works like that.
It'll go with the outfit I'll get her.
Like a Nico ni cheerleader outfit.
Yeah, or a Stolfo.
No, her.
That's a meme, you guys. Calm down. Don't report the YouTube video. And of course, everybody now is starting to suspect that he's acting kind of weirdly, as you can tell by the sweat mark on the back of his hair. Because I sweat through my hair. That's what I do all the time when I'm nervous. My hair just starts dripping.
I mean, people do sweat in the hair. Like my hair gets sweaty, like if I'm exercising or something. I can't. I could see that, being so nervous that you start to sweat. So I'm gonna counter signal your counter signal.
I like the very effeminate blushing that he's doing in the middle panel. And then now Rinko finally tastes food for the first time in however many years.
Well, apparently not, because she still, even as a ghost, was able to like experience stuff. Because if you remember, she had choco pies in a previous chapter. So I don't know how she can, as a ghost, taste things. But I guess if you can touch, you can taste. Because why not? It's another sense. You can see, you can hear. I guess actually, it only makes sense that you could taste if you can do all the others. I never thought of it like that.
I think the most important thing is that you can still physically touch her, because if you have a ghost girlfriend, you at least want some PDA or some cuddling, hand holding,
a ghost job, if you will.
What's that famous?
That could be whatever you want. I don't know which one.
Where it's like, woohoo, ghost blowjob, and like the neighbors are listening in on it.
I almost remember that.
I'll send it to you. But of course, we see here Rinko crying through his body, and it's so delicious. It's incredibly nostalgic, completely activating all of his almond neurons. Like it's great. I have the same rice cooker. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm sure they all look the same, but
Yeah,
it's
the
good to have a
classics,
rice cooker.
the Zojirushi brand. Yum.
That's the exact one, yeah. And then here we go. They're starting to suspect. Are you really Yohai? Do we know that for a fact?
The classic go 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 in the background, the JoJo menacing sound effect. That's how you know it's getting real.
And they've got like the shadows over their face that look like they know what's up. And in particular, as we see on the next page, we see the grandma has the real psychic insights and is able to pull Rinko out with her chopsticks because she's like a high level psychic.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me. Like, why do they call them chopsticks if they don't chop? Think about it.
Really makes you think.
It really does. Yeah, I do like that kind of idea though. How she can just pluck out the ghost with the chopsticks. It looks really cool. The imagery of it.
Well, the etymology of the word chopsticks is actually short for Chopin, and you would edit that quickly to be chop. And it's because Chopin, in his musical compositions, always used a lot of drums. So, and chopsticks look like drumsticks. So that's actually where they got it from.
That's a real nice lie that you came up with on the spot. It's very admirable. But they actually came from the Chinese word chop, which means sticks that you eat with. Yeah, I have no idea.
And it looks like she's about to eat Rinko. And I really like this cute ghost shadow thing that's going on in the middle panel here. I think she's very cute. I like her a lot.
I agree. You know how like a lot of people who are like into weird like hypnosis porn are like, whoa, dude, I really got into this because when I was watching The Jungle Book, that the snake would hypnotize the girl, and I was like way into it. It awoke something in me. Now I understand why people like 4. Because, it's an ugly old grandma eating a cute ghost girl. This really awoken something in me.
That's like a manga trope, too, that I've only seen. And it's like, this really awoke something in me. It's something I've only seen.
Yeah. It will manga and community.
Oh, I hope these furry suit Dalmatians don't awaken anything.
And the rest is history. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Who is so self-aware about themselves like that, and then not being able to stop it? Like,
well, the heart wants what the heart wants, and sometimes it's hard to say no, even when you know you should.
Then we see, boom, Rinko's back. Grandma is suspicious.
But I think because she saw how cute Rinko was, she's like, look, you're not an evil spirit. That's why she makes up this lie about the salty fish or whatever.
There is no way an attractive girl could be evil. That certainly doesn't fit with any of their common characteristics.
Or real life.
That's definitely not like a 1-for-1. The cuter you are,
incels rise up.
Gamers rise up. Let's go.
Yep.
I like this. Is this Squid Tune 2?
Okay, I swear Squid Tune 2 was referenced in an earlier chapter. Does that sound familiar at all? I tried to look a little bit. I didn't look that hard. I'm not going to go reread like 12 pages of my terrible writing, but like I'm pretty sure that Squid Tune was in there before.
Probably. And I've been wanting to get that game. I almost bought it. I almost bought it for Switch because I wanted to play Splatoon. But then I realized I also would have to buy Nintendo Plus to get online, and that completely destroyed my motivation to do it.
I mean, that'll get you. It's like what, $60 a year, I think.
Yeah, it's too rich for my blood. These poor scan later salaries don't cover much more than our company Lambo that we've gotten with all of the good money from it.
Yeah, but the health plan is really good.
That's true. We've actually seen this in another chapter where Yohai's hair has been unkempt, but it's interesting to see it not spiked. He looks like a completely different character. He looks more feminine in this way. I don't know if that's also because he's got the blushes and like downward eyelashes, but
maybe you need to explain this to me. I've never used hair gel, but it doesn't just go away at night, right? You need to wash it. But in the previous page, I think it was the previous page, might have been 2 pages ago, he's like, let's just go to sleep early, skip the bath. So what happened? What happened to his hair gel?
Maybe
plot hole.
I mean, okay, so if you go to bed and you'll wake up with like unkempt hair, but
he didn't go to bed yet though, or she or whatever.
That's why I'm agreeing with you. I think it's a weird thing, but it's just supposed to symbolize, okay, so I've let my hair down, I'm going to bed.
I want realism in my manga about ghost girls, okay?
Me too.
That's all I'm asking.
We've got the ominous rise and shine with Grandma Yohai, who is completely...
I almost went with wakey wakey on that one.
That
like that Brexit tweet.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm going to bed if I wake up and I see Nigel's smiling face.
I'm gonna kill myself. And then everybody tweeted him that. And then that dude shut down his account because he's like, I've forgotten enough of these. I know what happened.
I mean, I would have done that too. I would have shut down my account at that point, or at least lock it or block it. I
And then we
love
see-
the bottom right picture of Rinko there. The
Oh, yeah,
shadow play.
the shadow.
I believe the term is chiaroscuro, some kind of Italian something, where it's like a play of like shadows and lights. Like it's really unique
Interesting.
in terms of the whole manga, what it looks like here. I could be making all that up. I don't know. I heard that word once like 12 years ago. So now I'm a master of all things art.
Yohei waking up, chirp, 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 and now he's back. And then we see why Rinko was able to get out because she was so afraid because apparently Grandma ate every last one of the evil spirits. And now they're in her stomach. And you wouldn't want to join them. So I guess she's got like a black hole in her stomach. This is like gluttony from Full Metal Alchemist. Not entirely sure.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I've only seen episode 1 of that, and it was only a couple of days ago, so I can't confirm, but I think it's exactly like that. I do have 2 points of note for this page. One, pests. The word choice pests, I don't know. She said bad bugs or like evil bugs or whatever. It's like, that's close enough. I feel like it's not
you did
as...
well.
Pest isn't as impactful, but what else are you going to say,
No. That's exactly the right translation for that because pests has that connotation in English. It's not only like bugs, it's like evil bugs. That's perfect. That's spot on. That's like what has made us the #1 scanlation company in Japan.
Very true, yes. Go check our stocks. Go trade them now. Buy.
Mhm.
Second point of note, Rinko is now outside of Yohei's body, and she is also outside of what we thought to be her zone of movement here. Is this a plot hole, or is this like a subtle like hint that her zone of influence has expanded even further beyond?
You know what would have been great is if he woke up and she was in the futon with him.
What was that one manga like probably a few months ago at this point where the girl did that? You sent me like the one page of it. It's one of your stupid rom-coms that you read.
There's a
Where
lot of
she, like-
stupid rom-coms that I read.
There's like a picture of her like in a windowsill or something, and then she ended up getting in bed with him, and she's like, "How am I going to explain this in the morning?"
Oh, that's pseudo harem. Yeah.
Ah, okay. I knew it was one of
They were
my
on
favorite ones.
an overnight date and they both had different rooms, but she's like, I could go back to my room, but he's asleep and I could just crawl in. And now those two are dating and it's a
Wow,
great manga
taste.
and helps me fulfill all of my empty desires in my life.
Yeah, maybe I need to read that too.
Yeah.
I have a lot of empty desires that need filling.
I've looked at our YouTube analytics and it's almost exclusively hot girls that watch us. So
Amazing.
feel free to leave a comment in
With your address and age and 3 sizes.
Yes, and then say which of us you would rather date, Tom or Aiden.
But only
And
if it's
then
Tom.
we can fill out your applications for that and then fly you over to Japan to go hold hands with us. So make sure you do that.
Nice, based. That's all I've ever wanted.
And that is the end of this chapter. We'll come to the fantastic end. Some of Tom's best work.
Speaking of based in red pilled. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to.
We can't explain this hot stuff too much, but I'm sure you get it.
Yep. It was one of my personally prouder end pages in terms of inspiration. I thought it was a pretty good one. You could call it hot
I know
stuff.
you've been trying to work this in for a few weeks now, so I'm glad you finally did.
I actually haven't. This was the first time it came to mind.
You brought it up before.
No, that was in reference to this chapter.
Ah, okay.
It was very early on in this chapter where I sent you that text. I said, "Remind me if I ever ask you what to do for this end page," because I thought I would forget. But with an idea this solid, you don't forget.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic. So, and with that, we're gonna crash the plane into your answers. So, have a good night, you guys, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.